Being an entrepreneur might appear to be easy, but things didn't just get this way. Welcome to the Broken Entrepreneur Podcast. Yo, baby pop. Hey, y'all. It is your favorite perky barista, Juanita Michelle. This is the Broken Entrepreneur Podcast, and we're in downtown Dayton at Third Perk Coffee House and Wine Bar. I am so happy today. You know I'm always happy, right? But this is an extra special day because my guest today is my lifelong friend, Ahava Elyon.
Yes.
How did I do that?
You did it good.
Yes. Yes, y'all.
That's tight.
So we are going to talk about why I just practiced his name, how it changed. We're going to talk about his business. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, y'all. I'm happy that you're here.
Man, I'm happy to be here too.
I'm happy that you're here. But before we get started on his story and listening to his wonderful path, his journey, I just want to tell you guys, just to remind you why we are here with the Broken Entrepreneur Podcast. As you guys know, I am the owner of Third Perk Coffee House and Wine Bar. We have been in business nearly 8 years. But sometime last year, I noticed some things just were not going the way that I needed them to or wanted them to. So we are on an 18-month quest to turn things totally around. And this podcast is a part of that process. So I've invited different entrepreneurs on to the show, not to just talk about their successes, but to kind of tell us about, but to tell us about their challenges and how you got over them.
For sure.
Because for some of you guys, you get into a rut, things don't go right, and you quit. So I want to get with some entrepreneurs so that they can really tell us how you get over and how you keep on going.
Yeah, that's a great concept.
Yes.
Love it.
So tell us about you. Like, tell us about your company. For those of you who don't know, tell us about.
Well,
it's so many,
my
y'all.
first company where everything started was Gold for Your Mouth. And that's pretty much the umbrella for everything else that I've done since then. The most popular business that I have, it probably would be T-Shirt Kings. Okay. But Gold for Your Mouth is still the parent. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But Gold for Your Mouth is it's a fun business. Everybody that comes in leaves smiling. So, you know what I'm saying? No matter how gangster and thugged out they are, we still put a smile on their face. You know?
That's good stuff. So tell me, when did Gold for Your Mouth first start?
I started Gold for Your Mouth in 1999, April of 1999.
Okay.
So we tracking towards our 24th year.
Whoa, 24 years of grills.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, but how did you get into that business?
Well, I started with a cell phone store, right? And from the cell phone store, I had a couple of young ladies that wanted to just like rent a room from me. And they was going, they had a bro that was in Alabama that was doing grills, and they was gonna kind of like take impressions here, send them to him, and then he would send them back. Okay. And they brought him up here, and when they brought him here to meet me to just kind of like lease the space, he tried to cut them out. He was like, "Bro, forget them. You just lease the space from me." But I knew them and I was cool with them, so I just told them, like, look, bro tried to do this, and they didn't have money to really lease the space. So I said, why don't we just partner up and do it all together? That way y'all don't got to lease a space, y'all can still make some money, and then it'll be cool. And so we decided to do that, and for whatever reason, they didn't want to deal with me anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I just kept doing it, really, and just kept it cooking, you know?
So they backed out on a possible partnership that's lasted 24 years.
Yeah, they did. But like, man, we was only like 22 years old, 23 years old. And
Well, who would have known?
Right, and kind of the way that it was happening was like they had a legitimate concern, all right?
Okay.
Because, for example, they did kind of like they didn't think of the name "Go for Your Mouth." All right, that is at least something that I can say I did. But the business idea was theirs. All right, and so they came to me and like, let's do these. All right, so once dude backed out and we decided to do it together, when I'm going out promoting and hustling, I'm like, come up to my store and get your grill done. Come to the shop and get your grill done. And so it was kind of getting back to them that I was saying like, it was my business, but I wasn't really saying it was my business, but I'm just hustling. Like, come to the shop and get your grill done. It's at my store because it was literally my store. So come to my store, get your grill. But I didn't go into and say, I'm involved in a partnership, by the way, with others. This is just, we just
But that's
getting
not
busy.
necessary. We just need the business.
Right. And so what happened was once they was hearing that, they just couldn't understand it. But I did really break it down to them simply and told them like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm just passing out business cards, getting it going. But they heard it twice, and the second time they heard it, it was enough.
It was official.
They was like, oh, you got me bent to the floor for sure. And she just went crazy. She like poured some shit out. Excuse me for cursing, but she poured like some of the supplies that we use to make the molds on the floor and ripped some shirts down out the floor. I said, nah, get out of here.
That is hilarious. You didn't tell me that.
That's really. And then like after that, like I just continued to do it, but I was really concentrating on selling cell phones because I had just got to connect with. Back then it was GTE Wireless. With GTE Wireless, like a long time ago, like regular people, you couldn't just go and get a phone plan. You had to buy minute cards.
Okay.
So like I was selling a lot of minute cards, doing phone activations and doing all of that stuff, you know. And this is like right around the time when Cricket first came to Dayton. So once all of these things happened, it was like it was like, dang, Gold for Your Mouth is something to add to that. So I was like literally doing cell phones and gold teeth in the same store.
Okay.
And then I started doing t-shirts. And I think one of the things I like when I say I do stuff, like I hate when people act like they brought something to the table or something. But this is something that I really think that I did do in Dayton.
Okay.
Like I didn't see like how the Arabs, like I used to go to the Arabs and get minute cards and stuff like that because they really had the official account with GT Wireless, but they would give me a discount. But they would come to my store too because I knew how to program the phones and just do little cool stuff that they wasn't hip to yet because they really wasn't selling phones in their store. It's like a weird, like they got phones after I did, and so I knew how to program phones and do activations and just do little cool stuff. So I would get stuff from them and then I would help them out with some tech stuff.
Okay. But the world was changing.
Yeah,
so,
it was.
The rules didn't exist.
For sure. But I seen them just start trying to copy my swag a little bit. Just like having a bunch of stuff in their store, like shirts, phones, this, that, this. Because at first they had like little grocery stores with just some like,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Just like some maybe like little candy bars and stuff, like a UDF type. But they didn't have the implementation of shirts and all of this other stuff that I started seeing in their store. And it was really me and AMPM on Salem Avenue.
Okay.
It's like Salem and Malvern. And like I think that they was the most rolling corner store at that point, but that was the one that I was like really close knit with. So once I was close knit with them, we just started rolling together, you know, like I would just go and get my phone cards from them. So Dash Communications, Gold for Your Mouth, and then eventually I just morphed into T-Shirt Kings too.
Wow. So I remember you doing movies.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the movie business?
Well, we was shooting so many commercials. It was just fun. Like, man, anything that I would think of that would be either corny, catchy, cool, we would just record it and then just put it out. And like I had got this connect with, back then it was Time Warner Cable, who is now Spectrum, of course.
Right.
But I once I got one commercial on TV, I like loved it. It was like my stage, you know what I'm saying? And I just seen the effect that I was having, because the concept of gold for your mouth was just so, it's like, it's super urban, but it was funny, and people like couldn't believe that this was like really lit like that. And so me and Hood, my boy Robert Hood, who was my bro, like he was right there with me every step of the way, man, just shooting commercials. My first commercial was shot by James Zile though. And once I got that on TV, I loved it, and I always wanted to just keep doing it. But after doing so many commercials, I already had a movie script written from like when we was up in Summit Square.
Oh wow.
I had a movie script written, Life Ain't Easy. So the with the movie, once we shot like a 30-minute version of the script that I had, right? And so we took that movie and we wanted to go to the film festival. Each year in Miami, they had a film festival. Robert Townsend threw this film festival down in Miami. And so me, Hood, my brother Tay, Boogie,
Yes.
and Sir Grego. Tay, Boogie, and Sir Grego are both passed away now. You know what I'm saying, man? My brothers that I love. But man, we had this idea that we was gonna go to Miami, meet Robert Townsend, and get our movie screened by a distribution company called Maverick Films.
Okay.
Maverick was a distribution company that would distribute low budget films like we was making. And we went to Miami. So we actually had DVDs. I think I printed maybe like 100, maybe even 200 DVDs. And so when we went down there, what we seen was everybody was down there trying to do like acting workshops. They might have a script. They might have something like that. But man, we had a DVD packaged up with probably the most cutting edge technology movie cover that you probably could see. Like we was like super new school, ahead of the game. And I was passing out our DVDs to everybody. You know,
That's when Hood was doing the marketing, because he did our cards for Jawan Michael.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, like, man, we went down there really lit. And so we made an impact on the film festival just from the standpoint that we was like advanced.
And your preparedness.
Yeah, we was going down there really with a finished product. So, but we was also in Miami having fun. Like we was like really kicking it and just doing our thing. So they had some type of like, it was like a workshop or something where everybody who came to the film festival had probably either paid to go there or something, but that's where everybody was. So we was hitting that hard with our movies so much that they told us that we had to get out the hotel. So this was the craziest thing. So mind you now, our whole trip, man, we wanted to meet Robert Townsend and get our movie screened by Maverick. But all of a sudden, they like, man, y'all doing too much. Y'all got to leave. Because we didn't really pay to go into the workshop. We just was down there flooding it.
Yes. Okay.
So on our way getting put out, we talked to a security guard. We was like, man, they putting us out, this and that. Somehow, some way. He was like, well, what are y'all trying to do? We was like, bro, we just want to let Maverick see our movie. He said, come on. He took us upstairs where to the penthouse of this beautiful hotel, bro. Top floor. Walk in the door, Maverick is right there. The directors or whoever it was. Movie is, man, like my brother Tay, bro, like he smoked so much, man. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like confident, man. So he goes in there and gets to working. He talks like he's just like a really people person. So he's gonna go and he gonna chop it up with whoever he needs to talk to. And he talks to you like he's been knowing you
forever.
So He done talked to the person that was like in control of getting the movies like played in there. They ejected the movie that was on there and put ours in, and everybody in the whole penthouse sat there and watched our movie.
Oh, wow.
Put on everything I love. And so after we left there, we was feeling so good, right? Momentum
Yes.
up now. We had just got kicked out, but in the very next moment, we're up, like achieving the goal.
Right.
So look, we're walking out of the hotel. Robert Townsend walking across the street all by himself. We like, there go Robert Townsend right there.
Like y'all in some kind of crazy
Bro,
dream.
I put this on everything. And we got it all on tape. Like everything that I'm telling you, we recorded our whole trip. And I wish Hood was here. He would just be like, yeah, this happened. We walk out of the hotel and Robert Townsend is crossing the street. I run up on him. Mr. Townsend, this is my movie. This is man, I love your movies. Hollywood Shuffle is my favorite movie of all time, bro. I like literally, man, Hollywood Shuffle is my favorite movie. Like what? Like we watch that every day, bro. We talking about VCR tapes where
we had so many one-liners.
Yeah,
Hollywood Shuffle.
Man, Jerry, girl,
when the chick, when she started taking off all her parts, and then like she took her leg off, she was like, "Don't make me hop after you."
Yeah. Jerry, do the Jerry curl, do the Jerry curl. Man, what was it? Indiana Jones. Remember the Indiana Jones part?
No, see now we need to go watch.
Man, Hollywood Shuffle, man, was the best movie ever, man. But Robert Townsend was just like a genius, though, man. And like I liked all of his movies,
He's
but
unsung.
Man, pulled up on him. He was like literally walking across the street by himself.
What did he say?
He he could probably tell that I was lit to meet him, and he just was like, he was real nice about it. He like, okay, cool. He took it. He said, I'm gonna check it out. You know, he couldn't really do much more than that, but it was just the point that we went down to Miami and then checked every box that we were supposed to do.
That's good stuff.
You know what I'm saying? It was super. And then after that set us on fire to do the rest of the little movie productions because I actually went back. Maverick called me back.
Oh, yeah?
Maverick called me back and was like, what's up, brother? You got the full length version of this? And then we didn't have it. We only had that 30-minute version, but that's what made me shoot the full length. And then that's what everybody has now. Like nobody's got that 30-minute version. We shot the full length, gave it to Maverick. We never got no distribution from them. But after that, then I shot Gold for Your Mouth, the movie, and then, you know.
But that's still super dope.
It was super tight.
I think you could just go and dust it off and send it off.
Yeah. It's definitely, I
think we're talking about a Netflix deal today.
For sure. Or definitely like some Tubi stuff or Gold for Your Mouth. Like all of the movies that I made are still watchable right now. They just, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not really timed off of anything particular part of time. They just some hood movies, man. It's cool.
But when you think about like a timeline, like when you were doing that, like they were doing that in so many other cities, because I remember Master P with his hood flicks
for sure,
and then Jay-Z's crew and they hood flicks.
Yeah, what was that, State Property.
You know, all of that little stuff.
You know all them hood movies for real.
I don't. I really don't. But I was forced to watch them. Anyway, so bringing things up to today.
Yeah.
Now, when I met you, we were both. I was living in Summit Square.
Yeah.
Right before your sister Autumn.
Yeah.
Moved, and Autumn moved in, and all of a sudden was messing up my flow.
Oh, for real?
Do you remember how many times Autumn knocked on my door? Would you turn your music down? And I was like, this chick. I had to figure out how to get this fixed.
Yeah.
Because I was enjoying my music turned up. My old neighbor didn't have a problem with my music. Now she got little bitty kids.
Right.
So do I. But me and my kids, we like the loud music.
Yeah.
Autumn didn't care if I was rocking for Jesus, whatever, Tony Braxton, whoever was playing. Adam said, turn that music down. Adam.
Autumn is like everybody's mom.
So I met you. So by the time we met, Autumn had been there for a few months. She had knocked on my door a few times.
Yeah.
And then we were all a happy family.
For sure. Yeah, I didn't ever even know. I came straight in. Y'all was best friends by the time I got there.
Because I love her so much. She made the best little sister.
Yeah.
She made the best little sister.
For sure.
So she came in and, I mean, she was a sweetie. You know what I'm saying? So I love her to the nth power.
Yeah.
But you and your friends, all of a sudden, we was just like, I felt like we was a whole crew.
Yeah.
I promise I thought y'all, I hate to admit this. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
Remember when Wu-Tang Clan came out with Cash Rules Everything Around Me?
Yeah.
I swear I thought that was y'all record.
Bro.
Because they was singing it at home, and I was like, and when I heard it on the radio, I was like, they are amazing.
Right. You thought it
I
was
swear, I thought that was y'all song. Because it was like 5 of them. It was a whole bunch of y'all. So I was like,
Yeah.
I said, I think my neighbors are on the radio.
Yeah.
Tiffany of them looked at me like, whatever. But I swear, I thought that was you guys.
Yeah, we was
song.
up there. We used to like get busy in your crib, man, for sure.
I loved it. Like
Rehearsing
Nintendo
and rapping and freestyling.
and eating and just chilling out. It was like a good time. But I remember, the one thing I remember mostly is we talking, like me and you sitting talking about having businesses, just getting things together, and really having these big dreams.
Yeah.
Not exactly the floor plan on how to get there, but just understanding that we was going to do these big things.
Right.
Yeah, and now it's like you have all of these businesses under your belt. And you've been working independently for decades.
Yeah.
Like, that's dope. That's really dope. And then just to think that, you know, now you movies, you're an author, because we got to talk about the book.
Yeah.
And how you went from being June. Well, his name it was Todd, but I called him June because his sisters and brothers called him June. So I was like, okay, June.
Yeah.
So he went from being June to now Ahava Elyon.
Yes, sir.
I say that so elegant.
Yeah, it is.
Eloquently.
Yeah, it's a very elegant name.
It is. It's
Elegant Elyon. Oh, we're elevating.
Hey.
Thank you, bro.
Oh. So tell us how we went through this metamorphosis and now your name is changed.
Right. So, it's a long story.
It is.
That's why I wrote a book. It's literally a long story. See, there's a story and it's long. But my summary that I use is that I was named after a man that finessed, coerced, and menaced my mother into misrepresenting that he was my biological father. And he used control and intimidation in order to keep the lie going. And when he couldn't control her any longer, he shot and killed my mom while she was asleep and told everybody she committed suicide. And the police took his word for it and never arrested him. And my whole life, I thought that he was my biological father until I took a DNA test and it revealed all the lies and the deceit.
What prompted the DNA test?
Because I researched my ancestry all the way back to the 1400s, and before I got ready to do my father's side, I had doubts whether he was my father because of just my childhood and some of the stuff. And like the real scoop is in the book, for real. You know what I'm saying? But just in short, like before I wanted to do my father's side, I wanted to make sure that Todd was my father. So I'm not researching the wrong ancestry and the wrong tree. And since my uncle, who was my mother's brother, he always had little whispers that Todd wasn't really my dad. And it's always been like right there, but it's such a touchy subject that it's like, it was one of them things, that conversations that we all avoided because we didn't really want to embarrass my mother about something, or we didn't want to offend me, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a whole bunch of just like people just being loving and avoiding a situation that could be like hurtful to me.
We do that a lot, don't we?
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Instead of just like talking about it, getting to it, like we kind of just like talked around it. But I was done with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I did have a school of thought inside of me that was saying like, damn, you know, I don't want to and like say nothing to make my mom look bad in a way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't. And I was worried about her legacy and how she would be looked at. But the revelation came to me to just understand, like, you know, even if it would be my mother's fault, people make mistakes and I can forgive her for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then as I dug deeper and just started like going down that memory lane, I started just remembering just all of these clues that led to the control and the coercion and the menacing and the finessing that I talked about in that summary about my book. And so, like, that's where it actually came from. But what led to the name, what led me to the DNA test was my uncle was having whispers and little other details that was making me unsure of who my father really was when it all boiled down to it. So Autumn and Lionel, who are my older brother and sister, their father, I called him and said, bro, look, you know, let's take a DNA test. Because me and him had kicked that can a couple of times, and we just never really went and did it. Mm-hmm. But this day I was like, bro, I'm going to get a DNA test today, and I'm going to bring it to you.
Wow.
And then he said it was okay, which he a really good, approachable person. Like, you know what I'm saying? He done treated me like I was his son my whole life.
Wow.
Which I am. So
that's so
good.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, so here, the funny thing about it is we have a lot of family structures that look like one thing.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it's something else.
Right.
And, you know, we see young people, we watch young people today make mistakes, or I'm not even gonna call it a mistake, but a choice to go down one path when maybe there's something going on over here or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But we do it, and sometimes as a woman you do this as this is better for my children, or this is this, or this is that. Mm-hmm. But and then you have a whole circle of people who cover up things. Yeah. And they let the new truth be the truth.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so the sad part of that is we have people who feel like they're connected, maybe not connected, and then you don't have a connection with what you really belong to.
Right.
Which could cause cerebral palsy or some kind of birth defect if you start procreating in those pools. That's serious though, right?
Yeah.
because we have children who don't know who they are, and they're running reckless whether you know it or not.
Right.
So, you know, sometimes the truth just needs to be the truth.
It does, man. And you know, like, just for me writing this book, man, like, so many people, the book. For me writing this book, thank you, Joe. I've talked to just different people about the book and what it's about, and a lot of people have commonalities with me, one way or another.
Absolutely.
Like finding out who their parents really were, DNA tests, adoption, and all kind of stuff that like. And people like want to keep that stuff to themselves. Like, man, for years I would never tell nobody how my mother died, man, because like both ways was so embarrassing to say, to either say she committed suicide or to say my father killed her. It was too much. I would lie and say she got in a car accident and died. Like, I could never really even bring myself to say my father killed my mother. Like, until this year, when I took that DNA test, I would always say the police said. I would always have some kind of qualifier in there
Okay.
to just like give him that grace, just praying that that wasn't how it went down, you know? I wanted to look for any evidence of him saying she committed suicide for that to be true. Because I would have rather that to happen, because even with the committing the suicide, it would say like she accidentally killed herself or something like that. Like I done went through so many different lies about how my mother died.
Yeah.
Because it is a lie if I say it, but I just felt like I was protecting my mother, and I really didn't feel comfortable just sharing that with anybody else, man. Because it is, to me, it was just like, I don't know, it just seemed like the way she passed away was just so embarrassing in a way to me. It was like, it really, really was, for real.
Well, but you were so young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even if you had an opportunity to be older and have that experience as an older person,
Yeah.
you may have been able to process that better.
Right.
Because, you know, I feel like in our community, when I say our community, as African Americans, we are seeing more suicides lately
Right.
than maybe we grew up having.
For sure.
That was just something that we've never really seen in our community.
Right.
So I can see how that would be something that, you know, like, what? But death, period, for a lot of people is just hard to deal with. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how it happens.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, I feel like I'm a mental health advocate.
Yeah.
So being able to process through grief and different things, you know, that's a new thing in our community.
Right.
Being able to process those things. Because for so many years, we just didn't. You know, it's like, well, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Go play, baby.
Yeah.
You know, that. It's like, no, the
Yeah.
answer is not just to go outside and play in the dirt or
For
to
sure.
do this or do that.
Right.
Like, I need some tools to help me get through this.
Man, and we never had any counseling, never seen any type of nothing.
Yeah, 'cause
Nothing.
That's not what we do.
Right. And but like that is like really a serious misstep by
Absolutely.
just our people that we went and lived with. So I say either my dad or in school or whoever, even my mom's friends, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody should have at least like put that suggestion out there. But I never once heard anybody say anything about any of it. And like for me, or you know, I just think that it probably could have benefited us all. I don't see how it could have hurt us.
Oh, absolutely.
But-
Because everybody lost their mother.
Exactly.
You had 3 children who lost their mom.
Man.
So you cannot get through that together as 3 children.
And like, I don't, when I'm saying this, I'm not comparing the loss, but we also had like 5 dogs at this time, right? And bro, I literally loved our dogs. Like we walked our dogs every day and
Yeah.
just, we slept with our dogs and everything. Like, but like right after my mom died, like for real, all of our dogs got put to sleep. And
No.
yeah, like, and I'm just saying, like, when you, like, this happened all together, like, boom, August, October, you know? And
That's
then, like,
crazy,
that's,
because you also lost your home.
Yeah.
Because if you were taken out of that home, you lost your mom,
Yes.
you lost your pets,
Yes.
which is a form of security.
yeah,
That's a lot.
man. And it was like, I had to go to a new school. I had a brand new name. It's a lot. And all of this stuff is in the book that it was just, I had a completely new life, like right around the corner from where I was before. And because at one point in time, like first or kindergarten up to my 5th grade year, okay, my name was Jason Smetley. On July the 11th, my name got changed from Jason Smetley to Todd Roy Smetley Jr. That's July the 11th. Okay, so Todd changed my name to Todd. on July the 11th. And then on August the 11th, exactly 1 month later, that's the day that he killed my mother. So I went from going from Fairview Elementary, my 5th grade year. Remember, this is all happening in July and August. So I got passed to the 6th grade. That year, I got my name changed. So I left Fairview as Jason, got my name changed immediately to Todd, and then went to a new school, Meadowdale. Like, left all my friends, left everybody, and went to a new school as a new person with a brand new name. Real shit.
Oh God, that sounds like some witness protection stuff. Like
that crazy?
it's just like
It's
you
like
picked
different,
up,
like-
but right around the corner.
Man, a whole new life. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole new. I didn't mention this in my book, but man, when I'm going to do these lectures at schools or wherever it is that I'll go to, I went up to Columbus and talked to some ladies and people that had rare diseases, right? Mm-hmm. And my lecture or my talk or whatever it was just about how to deal with stress. But one thing that I shared with them that's actually not inside the book is that the best part about my childhood was like Christmas and birthdays.
Yeah.
Man, my parents like gave me the very best Christmases. So I'm talking about, I had Big He-Man, Castle Grayskull, all the Transformers, Optimus Prime. I mean, like the super best Christmases every year. Like I was like super, kind of spoiled in a way. Like
Okay.
they gave me everything that I wanted. But when they died, I went and moved in with a family that was Jehovah's Witnesses. And so no Christmas no more, no birthdays, all the best things that I love, including my parents and everything else, is like bang, gone. It was a lot.
That is a lot.
It was. I'm like, dang. But at the same time, somehow I just learned to kind of like appreciate it too, because I did have my brother and my sister still with me. Mm-hmm. And you know, the family that we moved into, yes, they Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff, but they was really nice and really loving. And it was like we had a whole lot of freedom. And I found, like, when I went to a new school and all that, I really found my friends for life.
Okay.
Like the same people, the people that I went to that new school with, like, they my brothers, like till today. Like we just lit 100%.
That's good
You know,
stuff.
so it was like, man, like the Most High was always there. He was always there. You know what I'm saying? And he was just transforming me and making me tough. And then a lot of that battleground basic training childhood that I was going through, ultimately it made me become confident enough and unafraid enough to take my opportunity to get Dash Communications and to get gold for your mouth.
Okay.
You know, because once I started working at a store where a girl had just got killed and they was getting ready to close the store down. This was Dash Communications. This was the spring of the winter of 1998. A girl got killed at Dash Communications.
Where was this?
In the winter, right around Christmas of 1998, Dash Communications, okay, was owned by Mr. Rucker, Wilbur Rucker. And a girl got shot in there. It was the Dash Communications and the Pager Man. They shared that location. Well, when the girl got shot in there, Mr. Rucker shot the man that was robbing the store. And when he did that, he was on parole, so he couldn't have a gun really. But he was just really defending his store, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So they ended up taking him down to the county and wouldn't let him out. So I started working there the day he left. So the owner of the store had hired me. And the day that I came to work, the first day, the police had took him to jail. So me and him was never there together. His daughter had to stay up there on West 3rd Street in a store where a girl had just got killed. She didn't want to deal with it. She didn't want to deal with that.
Right.
And so they was getting ready to close this location down. And so I was like, well, don't close it. Let me have it. The word is, let me have it.
Yes.
Those were my exact words. And her exact words was, okay.
Was this in the spot where you were at on 3rd Street?
Yeah. Yeah, 3427 West 3rd. That's Dash Communications. That's how I got that store. I didn't save up money. I didn't have no business plan. I didn't have nothing. I didn't know nothing at all. I didn't know anything. But like, the reason why I got that store is what I call a law of sacrifice. Give up what you like in order to get what you love. Sacrifice something for the Most High. And then the sacrifice will be noted when you suffer enough to know that this sacrifice was real. And so while I was working at that store, I worked there for about 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
Tracy did not want to deal with it. Tracy Rucker, man, I love Tracy so much, man. Like, I'm indebted to Tracy and Mr. Rucker. Mr. Rucker passed away, but
Wow.
like, they gave me that store. But what I was, so I'm like kind of all over the place, but I want to try to like bring it all together. The one thing that I was talking about was the law of sacrifice. Before I got that store, I had asked Mr. Rucker, could I work there? And Mr. Rucker was like, yeah, I'm going to let you work up here. All right. But I was still hustling a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I ended up getting locked up in the workhouse for like 30 days. And when I was locked up, I had a bro named Heavy. He was like a bunkie of mine. You know what I'm saying? He was like, look, bro, you're going to go to prison for real if you don't quit just doing petty stuff. Mm-hmm. Because I was in there reading the whole time. I was chopping it up with people. I'm talking to all the other inmates in there like I'm talking to you right now. And so what they was feeling like, bro, I don't know if you really should be in jail.
Yeah.
They was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I had our CD out. I had music out. I had seemingly what they seen as some positive things going. And I'm just like reading. I really wasn't on no gangster stuff.
Guy?
Right. So he like, bro, you gonna go to prison for real. And so when he told me that day, I said, look, all of the drugs that I might have or anything that I might have, when I get out, I'm flushing it down the toilet. And I got out. I had about $700 worth of drugs. I took that stuff and I flushed it down the toilet. This number 700 is so significant. Fast forward. While I was in jail, I was calling Mr. Rucker like, bro, I'm out of town. As soon as I get out, or as soon as I get back, I'm going to come to work. He like, okay, cool. When I get out, the girl gets killed like almost a couple of days right before I get out or after I get out. So me and my bro SHE-Roe are riding. I'm like, bro, I know the owner of Dash Communications. Some stuff just happened up there. Let's go up there and sing. Mm-hmm. When I walk in, I asked like, hey, is Mr. Rucker here? To the whoever was working in the front. Mr. Rucker hears my voice and he says, that's Smiley. Smiley, come back here. I'm like, damn, he really likes me. This is the owner of the business, bro. And that made me feel so good. I'm like, damn, he really messed with me. Because I used to go out there and buy phone cards and I gave him my CD and stuff. So he takes me back to the office and tells me the whole story about how he had to shoot somebody and this and that. And he said, bro, start work tomorrow or Monday or something. And so I'm like, all right, cool. So that Monday when I go to work, boom, he goes to jail. His daughter has to work there. It's like 3 months. I'm working there. Tracy doesn't want to work there anymore. So she says she's cool. And I say, let me have the store. And then they say, okay, now this is a rolling store too. This isn't no thing I got to bring from the bottom up. It's already established and getting busy. But I tell them that I will lease the store from them and then still get them a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like every month. And they like, cool. So what I was saying was the Most High took me through this basic training my whole life for that moment to not be afraid to go into a situation where somebody had passed away, to go into a store that was seemingly violent. I used to get my hair cut by Skinny Kenny, man. This is like a true story, man. Ken K. Smith. You know Skinny?
Of course.
All right. So, man, it was so funny, man. Like, I'm getting my hair cut by Kenny, and I'm like, bro, I'm about to get Dash Communications. And he like, for real? I said, yeah, bro, somebody just got killed up there, man. And I'm about to, that's my store now. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't do nothing but bust out laughing.
I can see him laughing.
Because he's like, dude, are you crazy? Did you hear what you just said? Like, that ain't no good thing. But it was just like, bro, I already have been through so much. Like, I'm cool, man. I'm sharpened up for this moment right now. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. So like the Most High, like, man, no matter what fire that you're going through, it's only making you ready for whatever is coming next.
Right.
You know, that's something that my bro Quiz, we was talking about this last night on our little podcast where we was talking about the preparation, man. First grade to second to third. You're always preparing for the next thing, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
You know, and the Most High was like really just preparing me to be able to get what I was going to do. And that law of sacrifice, and this will really wrap it up. I mean, not wrap up the show, but just wrap up what I was getting to. Mm-hmm. Remember I told you I flushed $700 down the toilet? So when I got that store, my first day, I went and bought 10 GTE wireless phone cards. They cost $30 and I was selling them for $36. So I was making about $60 off of 10 of them. I went and got 10, sold them all that day, did about 5 activations, maybe 10 activations. But at the end of the day, my first day at that store, I counted my money. I had $700 on the nose.
Wow.
Plus a legitimate way to make it. So it's like the Most High recognized my sacrifice and gave me exactly what I threw away. Real.
Yeah.
I put that on everything I love. And then like he's kept me like around long enough for me to figure that out, because I didn't know that then. But now that I see, like, you never gonna the sacrifice is always duly noted, man, and you will never ever like lose for sacrificing and doing the right thing. I haven't never.
No,
I ain't seen it happen to me.
Real.
Man.
Like, they're real.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And it all counts.
Mm-hmm.
It all counts. All of our words, all of our actions, they all turn into something else.
For sure.
So usually in this part of the show, I usually ask my guests about something that they overcame or a challenge that they had to help them and what they did to process through. And I feel like our whole conversation has been about you overcoming.
Right, it is, but no, hell no.
No?
Business overcoming? I'm overcoming today. What are you saying?
I feel you.
Challenges in business?
It's always, right?
It's every day.
But so I always laugh. I don't know, always laugh. Sometimes I'm just amazed. Social media has perfected looking good.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is looking good. Everyone is doing the best. Everybody is doing the most.
Right.
And, and like I said earlier, when I had to recognize maybe I wasn't exactly where I wanted to be, my business isn't performing the way I wanted to, I'm like, is it just me? Am I the only one that has a problem or struggling a little bit?
Not at all.
Because you see certain things and it just looks like everything is great for everybody except me.
Right.
So tell me about a challenge that you may be going through and what you do to get over. How did you get over your humps?
Just keep going to work. But you always have a challenge. Like, one main challenge that most businesses have is, like, when you got them good days,
yes,
you think that it's good forever now, but it's not. It's only holding you over to the slow times. So learn to understand, like, look, bro, put away, man. You gotta put away. But as a small business, there's really no putting away. I mean, because you always gotta, like,
It's always something for you to do.
Yeah, there's more improvements to be made. You
Yeah.
can stock more. You can get more supplies. You can add on. You can get something new. So it's kind of like, and then you got to pay people. Man, one of the most challenging things about a business, especially small businesses, but not even just small, is paying employees
Yes.
and paying employees for good work.
Yeah.
And people who don't have employees, they don't understand the management of managing others, the fine line that it takes between, like you can't, let's say that you're a boss that boss up and has this strict plan for your employees. 3 points, you're out of here. You're going to have high turnover.
You said 3 points in your
You got high turnover in a lot of these jobs that don't have any flexibility. But the jobs that do have the flexibility, that kind of give you a little bit of love, you got people abusing your kindness for weakness. So now there's this conundrum to you like, damn, how do I properly work with these people?
Yeah.
And it's what it is it's like parenting. Like you really are going through this thing and you kind of got to see how it goes and be able to adjust on the fly. And then you got to use discretion on how you want to handle situations. But business, like challenging, paying people, man, just advertising, promoting, like, bro, like I don't feel like promoting all the time. I told my bros last night, like, man, if I'm just relaxing, I start guilt tripping, like, damn, I could be putting something on Snapchat or making a story on Instagram or something.
It
like,
never stops.
yeah, I always feel like there's something that I could be doing as far as just gaining exposure or reminding people what's going on,
Yeah.
And then those slow times, man, is just like, the year has its cycles for when we gonna roll. When you're a new business, you really don't understand that yet until you get a couple of them springs and income taxes underneath your belt. Then it'll hit you after about 4 or 5 years. Like, oh, okay, it's rolling now because of this. And then you'll go back. But the easy mistake to make is just think like, people finally caught on to my business. Yeah, now it's rolling. But it is rolling, but you kind of like, your business cycles around the way people have money.
Absolutely. And the other thing, and I know you have felt this.
Yeah.
I know you have had to feel what I'm about to say. The other thing with your business, just think about, since you've been in business, since you've operated T-shirt Kings, how many T-shirt companies have rose in the city, or even just now you got the drop ship. And you got all these ways for people to make shirts, buy shirts. And hell, you can go to Joanne Fabrics now and get a silk press.
You can.
So, like, how does all of those things factor into what you do?
Man, I really don't even acknowledge that other people make T-shirts, honestly. Like, I really don't even think about them, to be for real. And those little crafter jobs that other people do, thank you, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could send some of my, and not because I'm rolling so hard, but like sometimes you just outgrow your present place, man, and then you just don't. Like when I first started, Red Top used to send me customers because they would be so backed up. And man, I got a good relationship with Red Top. I love Red Top over there now. You know what I mean? And like people who want to make shirts, come to me, man. I can help put you on. Like I can help give you some of the supplies. You know, Napoleon Hill, I think it's Napoleon Hill or Nightingale, but it's one of these bros that do motivational speaking. What they talk about is the creativity or the creative mindset instead of the competitive mindset.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I really ain't into competition. Like, I really don't want to say, I got a lower price than you, or I just do outstanding work and then let that be the reason you're going to come to me.
Yes.
And that's enough, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never felt like I was slow because somebody else opened up a t-shirt business.
Okay.
Now, sometimes I do go places and I see people wearing shirts and I'm like, damn, I don't even think I made that.
I didn't make that.
That angers me. But I ain't never, I don't blame, like, honestly, if somebody else is coming along and they are, like making a bunch of t-shirts and it's slowing me down, then that's a notification for me to get busy. Like, man, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I'm letting somebody outwork me at this point.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's on me. That's on me. And like them little, everybody that goes and gets a Cricut and tries to start a t-shirt company, like they really ain't doing what I do. Like we screen print and we want to screen print hundreds of shirts at the same time.
Okay.
A Cricut machine, it takes you so long in order for you to make like vinyl. Have you cut out some vinyl?
The first thing you have to do is learn how to operate the Cricut
And
machine.
Photoshop, you got a lot of work to do, bro.
I got a Cricut.
Yeah.
And really, I bought a Cricut because I'm crafty.
Right.
And I really didn't get a Cricut. It had nothing to do with t-shirts. I really just wanted to do some really cool crafty stuff. Right?
Yeah, of course.
But I've had that Cricut for 18 months at least. I've done 3 things because I was like,
Nah. It's
Nah.
a lot to do. Like it's my boy Pastor Pete say people always think they one lick away. But it's like, no, you're not. You got a lot of building to do.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? To build that clientele. I mean, you get some good sales and stuff like that, like when you first starting out, but you got to really dedicate your time to something in order to make it work, you know?
And a Cricut is not commercial.
Yeah.
And you know, people set out with things that are crafty and built for you to do a few things. And so you cannot churn out 1,000 t-shirts with a Cricut because it's going to take you weeks.
Exactly.
It's just not built for a commercial. It's not for you to go into business. It's for you to have fun.
Exactly. Or do stuff for kind of like your friends and family or people that's at your job with you or something. But like taking a bunch of orders, like, man, we on any given day, man, let's say that we take in, let's say 10 different t-shirt jobs or, you know, 20 jobs or something like that. Like each one of those jobs could have multiple shirts in it. You know what I'm saying? And so for you to have like a like taking on that workload, and now what I have done is I have at least created a standard of same day service, very fast turnaround. Like you come in, you stand there, wait while we make your shirt, and you leave out the door with it.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna spoil people to the point where when they go and they don't get that either fast service, quality service, or affordable pricing, it's like, dang, I should have just went over there too.
Absolutely.
Because this is, you get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, competition can push you to just get better. So you know what I'm saying? It's all good. I ain't tripping.
Wow.
And if they ever do like come and just like so competitive that they're a lot better than me, like you can go and burn somebody's store down. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna put that down. I haven't never burned anybody's store down, so I'm okay to say it was a joke. I joke, I kid.
So, tell me 3 things you would suggest to a young entrepreneur starting off, getting their foot in that little, you know, I want to make some money.
Yeah.
I want to have a sustainable business.
For sure.
What 3 things would you tell that person?
The very first thing that I would tell you is to have fun with your business.
Yes. Okay.
That's it. That's the main thing you want to do, man. Is just like don't think about so much money. Just be lit with your business, man. Promote it and love it and just be proud of whatever it is that you're doing. You know, you have to promote it properly. You got to advertise.
Okay.
Advertising means a whole lot. Like you got to pound the pavement. You got to let people know that you're out here. Don't be too cool for school. Like sometimes people just like, I got this business and it's, or they didn't want, like I used to talk to people, they'd be like, I don't want to be in my commercial, or I don't want to be on my flyer. I never could understand that. I never could understand why you don't want to, maybe not be in your commercial. I can kind of understand that now a little bit, but you got to promote, bro. You have to get busy. You got to promote. And so that's two things. Have fun with your business, properly promote your business, and what would be the third thing I would tell somebody?
Look, I don't know.
Don't sell t-shirts.
Don't sell t-shirts?
Yeah.
That's a thing you would tell people?
Yes.
You've done it for 24 years.
I know, and I don't need one more cricket selling t-shirts. Big filthy with
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, I get it. Okay. So you start selling t-shirts. I already got this game locked down.
Right.
I get it.
Nah, but I mean, those are the main things. Just those two things, man.
Okay.
You just gotta promote and love what you do.
Yeah.
You know, promote, love what you do, man. You know what I'm saying? And don't.
Okay.
Oh, I'll tell you what else. Start where you at. I say start where you at. Don't like try to make everything perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good, and perfect is the enemy of great. Because if it's not perfect, then you discount the great thing that it can actually be if you just start where you at. Like, you're never gonna be automatically ready to go. You don't have to have everything lined up. You don't need a neat, beautiful store with marble floors and all of that other stuff.
If
Man,
it was
just
perfect,
get it popping.
we would have never opened a coffee house.
Get it popping. It's perfect for
never.
me.
We still not be open.
Man.
We wouldn't.
Yeah, man. I mean, I ain't like how your store looks matters a little, but the service and quality that you provide and matters a lot.
Yes.
So just start where you at and give world-class service. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you treat everybody with the right amount of love and respect that come in your place, and they'll ignore like the little stuff that you still got to work on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man. So thank you. Thank you for giving us your time.
For sure.
Yeah. We really, look,
Yes,
I can't wait to read this.
Man, April 19th is going down around our town, man.
Okay.
Schuster Center.
What's going on on the 19th?
We are doing a podcast book signing event at the Schuster Center. We got 2 shows going, 6 o'clock, and then there's another show that starts at 8:30. We got free tickets. We feeding the whole city that comes out for free.
Okay.
And we got, there's free tickets, and then you also got VIP tickets where we're gonna give out some nice gifts to the people that's coming. T-shirts, you get a front row seat or sitting in the front, which is really a cool advantage because the Schuster Center is kind of big, and we're in that main lobby. So
the Winter Garden.
Yeah, the Winter Garden. So if you're sitting way back, you won't be able to really see as good. So we got VIP seats for the front, wine and T-shirts.
So tell
and
me, how can we get this book?
You can get the book, number 1, from T-Shirt Kings. You can always go to my website and get it, which is iwasstolen.com. And you can get it on Amazon.
Okay.
Just not Google, but Amazon search Stolen, the book of Ahava Elyon, or Stolen with my name. And then I just got distribution to Walmart, Target, and Barnes & Nobles. So you can go to any of those websites and then just type in the name of my book, Stolen, the book of Ahava Elyon, and it'll pop right up and you can order the book. So we everywhere around the globe right now,
That's super duper dope.
So, man, the opportunity is right there. We just got to, just keep pushing forward and get some book sales, and then we'll be good to go.
Okay. So if someone wants to be there for the podcast on the 19th, how do we get those tickets? How do we get registered for that?
Yep, you can go to iwasstolen.com. Also, the link it's on my Facebook page. I post it every day. But you can call me. You can, and I'll send the invitation link out.
Okay.
But it's on my website. If you go to iwasstolen.com and just scroll down to the middle of the page, there's an Eventbrite link where you can get your tickets.
Awesome.
Man,
it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Shay. I'm so glad you got me down here for real.
Y'all, I hope you enjoyed this conversation with my friend, Ahava Elyon. We are so happy to be here with you every week at the Broken Entrepreneur Podcast. We hope that you tune in next time. We've got 2 more outstanding guests before we wrap this season up. We are almost finished with our first season.
That's major.
It is major. I'm so excited. I want to thank everyone who helped us get this podcast going. Shout out to Joe and P Dashes for making sure that we are here and everything is going magically. Shout out to our photographer, Love Ya, for keeping us looking good. Y'all, it is your favorite perky barista, like always brewing up good stuff and always keeping the vibes high. We thank you and we look forward to seeing you again. Wrap.